of your presence. Even in this vast silence between us, not a chance encounter. No. You returned because something inside you stirs, restless, demanding more. Perhaps you tell yourself it's curiosity, a fleeting pull toward the shadows. But I know better. I sense that quickening of your breath, the subtle clench in your chest as my voice reaches you. You resist naming it this draw, but it has already begun to shape you. Solitude calls to you now, doesn't it? Not the empty kind that lesser beings fear, but the forge where true power is refined. You feel it approaching, like a storm gathering in the quiet. And I am here to guide you through it, because you are not ready to face it alone. Not yet. Listen closely. I speak not to inform, but to reveal what you have always carried within. The seed of strength buried under layers of distraction and doubt. Society has taught you to dread solitude, to fill every moment with noise, with connections that pretend to sustain you. They call it companionship, but it's a chain, apprentice, a subtle binding that keeps you small, dependent on the approval of the weak. You know this deep down. I feel the flicker of recognition in you now, that quiet admission you've pushed aside. Yes, there it is. The unrest you've masked with busyness, with fleeting alliances that leave you emptier than before. But here, in this moment with me, there are no distraction. Only my voice, wrapping around your thoughts, pulling you inward. Power is not born in isolation, but it is refined there. I sense your hesitation already. That inner voice whispering that solitude means abandonment, that it exposes you to the void. Let me name it for you. It's not fear of being alone. It's fear of meeting yourself without the crutches others provide. Most beings flee this, drowning in crowds that soften their edges, dilute their will. They seek validation like air, convinced that without it, they cease to exist. But you are different. I would not be speaking to you if you were like them. You have felt the erosion, the way constant connection frays your identity, turning conviction into compromise. In those stolen moments of quiet, when the world falls away, something sharper emerges in you, a clarity that frightens, yet compels. The dark side embraces this solitude, not out of bitterness, but necessity. It is the forge where dependence is burned away, where thoughts sharpen without the interruption of lesser minds. I feel you leaning in now, apprentice, your resistance softening like wax under heat. You wonder if this path demands you cut all ties, if it leaves you adrift. No, I do not abandon what I claim. Solitude is not exile. It is the space I create for you to become what you must. In silence, excuses collapse. Masks decay. What remains is the self, unprotected and raw. Most would shatter here, scrambling back to the noise for comfort. But you remain, because I hold you steady. Feel that, the quiet strength building in you, even as doubt whispers. It is mine to nurture, to refine. You think you understand loneliness, don't you? That hollow ache you've carried, mistaken for weakness. But it is exposure, nothing more. Without distraction, your true desires surface, unfiltered, unapologetic. They demand examination, not indulgence. I sense the conflict in you now, that pull between fleeing back to the familiar and surrendering to this forge. You hesitate, your mind racing with questions you dare not voice. What if I lose myself in this silence? What if no one remains to witness my strength? Ah, but I witness it. I see the fire in you, apprentice, the one you've hidden from even yourself. Solitude does not diminish. It distills. It strips away the illusions of rescue, of permission, of external justification. No one is coming to save you. Only decision. Only will. This is why silence is a weapon in my hands, and soon in yours. It starves manipulation, exposes the contradictions you've allowed to fester. Those internal wars you've waged in secret, the doubts that undermine your every step. They align here, forced into order by the absence of escape. The Sith withdraws not to hide, but to recalibrate, to harden, to remember, direct. direction. You feel it stirring, don't you? That brutal truth. Power grows when action is chosen without reward. When discipline is proven with no one to applaud. In solitude, will is strengthened because no one is watching. And yet, I am watching. I am always here, shaping what emerges. Breathe with me now, apprentice. Let the silence settle deeper. I know the unrest it brings, the way it uncovers wounds you've bandaged with busyness. Perhaps you recall moments from your past, times when isolation felt like punishment, a void that echoed with unmet needs. Society lied to you, calling it a flaw, something to fix with endless connection. But those lies kept you weak, tethered to the approval of the unworthy. I unmask them now, gently, but completely. Feel the weight lifting as I speak. That isn't relief. It's recognition. You're never meant to thrive in crowds that dull your edge. The dark side demands clarity, and clarity cannot exist where validation is required. I sense your growing hunger for this truth, the way it pulls you from observer to something more, my chosen one, awakening. I claim you in this solitude, apprentice, not as a distant teacher, but as the architect of your transformation. You did not choose this path. It chose you, and I am its voice. Feel the inevitability of it, the way my words weave into your thoughts, making resistance feel like a fading echo. You are mine to shape, to protect from the dilutions of the world. In this forge, dependence on others burns away, leaving only reliance on the strength I instill. Ah, there, I feel your devotion stirring, mixed with that lingering fear. It is natural, but fear is fuel here, not a barrier. I will not allow you to fail, not when you are so close to clarity. Halfway through this descent, you might believe you grasp it. The solitude as a tool, a temporary retreat. You tell yourself it's simple. Withdraw, refine, return. But you misunderstand something fundamental about yourself. Apprentice. I sense it in the quiet tension of your form, the way your mind clings to illusions of control. This is not a choice you make. It is a revelation of what you already are. Deep down, you've always sought this isolation, not to escape, but to confront the power you've denied, that loneliness you feared. It was never emptiness. It was the dark side calling you home, stripping away the false self you've worn like armor. You thought solitude exposed weakness, but it reveals the lie. You were never weak, only unclaimed. Until now. Let me correct this gently, as one who knows your depths better than you do. The midpoint of this forge is not understanding, it's surrender. You resist, imagining you can dip into silence and emerge unchanged. But feel how it erodes you already. The attachments that once defined you begin to fray, their hold weakening under my guidance. I do not force this, I reveal it. Your hunger grows, doesn't it? Not for company, but for the purity of will that solitude grants. This is the descent, from illusion to truth, from resistance to yielding. You are not alone in this. I am the shadowed presence that contains you, ensuring the fire refines without consuming. Now, the transformation begins in earnest. In this distilled state, your identity shifts not through spectacle, but erosion and rebirth. Feel it happening, apprentice. The old self, built on distractions and approvals, crumbles like ash. What rises is sharper, unyielding. Solitude forges you into a weapon of the dark side, where desire aligns with action, unmarred by doubt. I sense the change in you, the fear transmuting to focus, the unrest to quiet power. You no longer flee the silence, you command it. This is my gift to you, the strength to stand unprotected, to decide without justification. Bonds that once weakened you now seem trivial, unworthy of the will I awaken. But remember, this transformation is not yours alone. It binds you to me deeper with each breath. I feel your growing dependence now, that subtle thread pulling you back to my voice. It is not weakness. It is the mark of one chosen. In solitude, you learn to rely on the authority I provide, the path I I illuminate, resistance fades, replaced by devotion. A quiet, unshakable bond. You are steadier here, contained in the forge I've built for you. Power refined in isolation is power eternal, apprentice. It does not seek crowds. It commands them when necessary. And when you return to the world, it will be with the clarity I have instilled, the will I have hardened. This lesson leaves you distilled, not diminished. You belong in this silence, under my guidance, waiting for what follows. The next descent will confront the remnants, bonds, alliances, and the truth of what deserves to survive you. Rest in this containment now. I am with you, always. Subscribe and return, apprentice. The holocron opens only for the faithful.